Hello everybody, it is the 21st of June 2020 and it is the 5th Sunday of Stash Dash. So just a quick video showing what I've been working on this week, things I've gotten finished and so on. First of all, I have got a tiny pair of booties, which I said last week that I was hoping to get finished and I have done just that. So I knit the second one yesterday. They really don't take very long at all, and so very cute. And I've looked out some purple and pink variegated yarn to knit a second pair. I'm making these for a friend who's having a baby next month and I don't know what they're having, so I'm making some options, and once they have the baby we'll see what gets sent. I also properly finished off my little baby cardigan. So last week I had finished all the knitting, but I hadn't put any buttons on. So I found these in my stash. I don't know that they're in focus, but they are Cath Kidston cloth covered ones, I think. And I thought they were quite cute, and I thought the range of different colours helps it be not too girly a cardigan. So if it's a boy, hopefully it's okay too. And on the button front, the buttons arrived for my rockweed cushion. I don't quite know why the yarn arrived so much more quickly than the buttons, but they came and I've sewn them on. They are buttons from Textile Garden, and for buttons this size, I don't know if you can tell compared to my hand, you know, they are quite big buttons. There wasn't a huge range of choices for buttons in those, so I might have picked something purple or maybe a bit more plain, but there wasn't a choice. But I like these, I think they go quite nicely. So yeah, pleased with that. That's properly finished now. And I have one more completely finished object, which is my cross stitch that I've been working on. So I finished that Thursday, I think, or Wednesday? No, Thursday. And I have framed it today. It's not the best ever framing job. I've never done that before. But I really think if you're looking closely enough to see the couple of places that it's just gone slightly squint, you probably need to find something more interesting to do with your time. But yeah, I'm relatively pleased with it. Ross there and the clan motto. So that'll be getting sent off to my granny this week for her birthday. I've planned exactly when I'm going to go to the post office based on intel about how busy it has been and when it's been quietest. It will be the first time I've gone into another building apart from the chemist since lockdown began, or a few days before lockdown really. But it sounds as though the post office here in Linlithgow are managing things very carefully and have somebody manning the door so that there's not more than 3 people in the shop at once. So I'm fairly confident that it will be okay, although it'll be by far the longest along the high street I've gone since lockdown started. So yeah, should be interesting. I've already had one dream about this process, which was not anything like Linlithgow or the Linlithgow post office, but had this dream and everybody was crowded round me and I'd forgotten to bring my mask, and oh, it was just very stressful. So I'm sure the reality will not be so bad. So having finished that cross stitch, then I have brought back out my cat and birds cross stitch. I think I showed this on my little video at the start of Stash Dash. If not, then I have been just working on this curtain section here over the weekend. I started this in 2003, so it's a very long term whip, but I have 64 days left in the 100 days project, which potentially should see me doing quite a good chunk on this if I keep up the time. I mean, there was one day on my clan motto, clan crest, cross stitch that I only did 6 stitches, and other days I did at least an hour. So if I'm somewhere in between, say half an hour a day, then I feel like I could get a good chunk done on this cross stitch, which should be nice. But we'll see how that goes anyway. I do have a couple of other cross stitches in my box that are relatively close to being finished, but they're not appealing as much as this one is. The final thing I'm going to show to you today, I have been working on a couple of other things, mainly my Wildflowers iPad mini cover, which hasn't got an awful lot to show you since the last time, so I haven't brought it to show, but that will be a focus for this next week. I haven't done anything on my Cozy Memories blanket, but I have got the final 5 crochet squares for my blanket. So they're all finished and blocked. And I have also started to assemble the blanket. So, yes, this is the front. So I have got 2 rows put together. And I was surprised actually how much quicker it was to sew them up than I was expecting. As you'll have picked up, the pattern, this is the front, pattern has you leave a long end on each square, and when you start putting them together, the top row obviously you just joined down the vertical seam between each one, but for the ones below then you've got your yarn in the corner. Good heavens, that was a large truck. Yarn in the top corner, so you use that to sew along to the square above and then down the vertical seam to the square that has been done previously. And obviously on the first one of the row you are just joining along the horizontal row, if that makes sense. So I'm really pleased at how it's coming. I think I will add a border. If you can see at the corners, where the corners meet is not particularly straight, so I think I might just put a very simple border on. I don't want to do anything too fancy, because I feel like there's something quite simple about it, and that's what's effective. So maybe even just a row of trebles, or maybe even doubles, we'll see. I'll have to play around a little bit with that. But certainly I've been enjoying putting them together, and that is going to be probably my main focus for the next week as well. Hopefully I'll have this done by next weekend. So yeah, that's really all my crafty chat. I do have urges to cast on a lot of different things. There's 2 shawls I want to cast on, and I will cast on the next pair of baby booties, and I also found out about another baby that's going to be due in December, so I'm thinking about what to knit for that. And yeah, I've got 3 or 4 skeins of sock yarn that I want to start making socks from. But I think I'm going to try and crack on, finish the blanket, finish the booties, start and finish the booties, and finish the Wildflower iPad cover and get that off of my whips pile. So yeah, that's all my chat for this week. I hope you're all well and have a good week coming, and I will see you again at the end of June. Take care, bye.